What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the We Run on Coffee podcast. I'm Erica,
And I'm Marissa.
and today I'm bringing a surprise topic to
I'm
Marissa. So
so
I'm about to tell her
excited.
I'm very excited. It's so random, but this is our new thing in 2025 is we're bringing each other surprise topics every once in a while. So Marissa's last one, we did reincarnation, like past life stories.
Hmm.
Super fun. Let us know if you guys enjoyed that, by the way. And today we're going to talk about something completely different. So Angelo and I, there's a little backstory, so I'll give that now. Angelo and I were talking the other day, and we were talking about our house. We're like thinking about getting a new house this year. I'm trying to put some work into our current house to, I don't know, spruce it up, make it look nicer, whatever. And I don't know what exactly got us to this point, but I said, Angelo, you can't do that. That's bad feng shui. And he said, What's feng shui? And I said,
Oh.
Oh, let me tell you. And I told him what I thought feng shui was, but then I thought, I don't know as much about this as I thought. I just hear it as a term. Today, we're diving into feng shui. We're going to talk about what is it, where
Okay.
it comes from, and the rules, and how you can apply feng shui to your home and your life. And I'm so excited, you
And you
guys.
picked this in November?
I picked this. Yeah, I wrote it in my notes so long ago. Like, I don't even know, probably because it was seriously months ago. And I just wrote it down and I was like, I'm waiting for the right time to dive in. And it honestly, it was kind of a lot of work just to like research it all and understand. I don't even still understand everything, but yeah, I'm really excited, you guys. This is
I'm
going to be
so
like a really
excited.
good one. So I'm going to share this document with Marissa, and I'm going to also encourage you at this point in time, listeners, to tune into video today. There will be
I
a lot
feel
of
like this one
photos.
needs
It
photos.
needs photos, and you're gonna have honestly a hard time like understanding if you don't have the photos. Like it's just
Mhm.
it's gonna be a lot. So yeah, tune into the video episode today on Spotify or on YouTube, either way. And I'm really excited. We're gonna get started. So before we even dive into feng shui, though, we're going to talk about what we're drinking and what we are looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. So what are you drinking, Marissa?
Well, I just spoiled it, and I'm still drinking my drink from last week because we do our
Yes,
double headers.
of
So I
course.
still have this guy,
So cute.
and then I have my water too for when it's done because I only have like two sips left.
Love. I okay, ditto. Water, and I also do have a canned beverage. I ran and grabbed a polar. Nothing
Mm.
revolutionary, you guys know, but I have the lime. And I still miss the ginger lime. If you have ginger lime at your store, you guys hit me up because I need to go find it.
Just mail it to
Yeah,
her.
just send it to me. I miss it so much.
That's so
Um,
funny.
yeah, so what are you looking forward to in the next couple weeks? I gotta whip out the cal. I don't actually
I
know.
am looking forward to figuring out what the hell is wrong with my
Yes.
legs.
That's true. That's happening like today. So, well, part of it
Yeah.
anyways. So
And
that's exciting.
actually, Erica, before you record next, I'm supposed to run the half marathon.
Oh my God, that's in. Wait, that came up quick, bro. Okay, well, I
Uh-huh.
guess we'll find out next time we're back together, you guys. Did she run the marathon or not?
I don't know.
That's so
We'll find
crazy.
out.
Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
that's not the only thing I'm looking forward to. I am also going to the spa
Oh
today.
yeah, wait, that's so exciting.
So I'm finally doing my Valentine's Day gift.
That's awesome.
I'm going to a place called Arlington Restoration Center and Head Spa or
Ooh,
something
love
like
that.
that. It's
Hmm.
in Arlington and I'm getting a head treatment. So it's like a scalp treatment, head spa
Heck yeah.
thing. So they like give you a head massage. They're gonna give me a facial and it's gonna be so good. And I'm
It's
so
gonna be so
excited.
relaxing.
I know, and it's right after my MRI, so I'm just doing like a
Oh,
bunch of react like
yeah.
relaxing today.
Yes. You're doing a good like self-care kind of day. Not
I
even
guess
on
so.
purpose. It's
I
like
know.
half accident, but yeah. Okay, that's exciting.
But that's
Anything
it. That's
else?
literally
Okay.
all that's on my calendar.
I don't think I have too much. Actually, tonight, so this is fun. My friend Taylor, she's hosting this new thing, which she made a graphic that is so adorable, you guys. I'll see if I can share it with you guys and I'll just cover some of the info. But she made a graphic that she sent out to all her friends and it's called Supper Club. And we're having a
Oh,
supper club tonight. And everyone's bringing food and we're doing like a taco night. And so she's just like had a way to bring all of her different friend groups together. I was like, this is
aw.
so adorable. I'm going to see if I can find the invite you guys and see if I can show you real quick. But yeah, it's going to be a taco night. Let me show you guys this. It's really cute. Hold on. Pause for graphic.
Aw.
It's so adorable. So you guys can see it's kind of like a 90s looking little ad that she
Yeah.
made. And it's just called Supper Club. And it says you're invited to taco night, bring an ingredient or a side. So I'm gonna do like a big, fresh, like homemade guac. And we're gonna have
Mm,
tacos and stuff. And I think it's gonna be very cute. So
it
when
will
Angelo
be.
gets home from work, we're gonna do that. I'm excited. He's gonna be
Does
so
he get to go
tired.
with you or is it girls' dinner?
No, he's coming. He's coming. I
Okay.
asked that. And she actually, so this was really cute. She has a friend who just recently had a baby, like
Oh.
very recently, like probably within the last 2 months or so. So she invited her and her husband and her baby, but she was like, I don't know if they're gonna come. And the woman responded and she was like, Thank you so much for still inviting us, even though we have a kid now. Like, we're definitely going to come. And I was like,
Oh,
that is so, like, a little heartbreaking because I'm like,
yeah.
she probably doesn't get invited to stuff anymore just because people don't know what the vibes are. But Taylor
Hmm.
was like, I'll just invite her. And if she doesn't want to come, it's fine. No biggie. But they're going to come. And I don't know if they're going to bring the baby, but I kind of hope so because I'm like, it's going to be so cute. I love a baby. So that's adorable. And not me just putting my phone down, even though that's not it. So yeah, supper club. Looking forward to it. Let's see what else we got. Going to a Costco. Fun fact with Taylor this week, she got a Costco membership. I've only ever been
Okay.
there once. So Angelo's really excited though because he's coming with because he wants to try a chicken bake from the the snack
Tell me
stand.
why men, because Kyle literally gets it every time we go to Costco
Hey, that's
now.
so funny. Okay, wait, that's good to know. Because he's never had one, but he's like, I have to try it. I'm like,
That's so
okay.
funny. I always get
Um,
a hot dog.
that's funny. I love a pretzel at Sam's Club, but like Sam's Club doesn't have the same stuff, so I'm interested to see the Costco vibes. Um, Other things I have upcoming is therapy. Okay. And then also I have an eye appointment. So my first eye appointment since I've gotten glasses, I think I'm probably going to have a worse prescription. That's what I hear. So that's what I'm expecting. We'll see. Hoping to get new glasses. I don't know if I said this on the pod already. Hoping to get new glasses that are like my black square ones that I traditionally wear that are anti-glare. Because you guys
Hmm.
know on this podcast, I'm always wearing these circles, which are not my favorite. And I only like them with certain looks, but I feel like I have to wear them every week because they're the only anti-glare ones.
Well,
So
as you can see, I have a
you have a glare.
glare.
Yeah.
Mine are anti-glare.
Mine are too. And some right now it's not too bad, but sometimes like they will have a glare, these ones. But my other ones are really bad. Like worse. You can't
Mm.
even see my eyes. Like I've taken a picture before, like a selfie for my YouTube thumbnail, and you can't even see my eyes. I'm like, what the heck?
Mm.
So we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I also have Crunchy Day. That's my last update. So Crunchy Day. Have I talked about this?
No.
It's this thing that me and Taylor made up, and then Grace and Lauren are coming, and one of Taylor's friends that we're hanging out with more now, Tirsa, who came to Galentine's. We're all doing a Crunchy Girl Day, so we're all a little bit crunchy, and we're gonna do. I'm gonna host, and I'm gonna host a workshop on how to make your own laundry detergent because I've been making my own laundry detergent for a couple of years actually, and everyone's kind of interested in it, and it is literally saved so much money. It's really, really, really cheap. So I'm gonna host a little workshop, and everyone's gonna make their own and like take it home. And then we're going to go thrifting because that's crunchy. And we're going to shop for plants at the plant store because that's a little tiny bit crunchy. And we're just going to have a crunchy girl day. We just thought it was funny and would be a fun thing to do because we're all crunchy. Like the best
How many
word. I don't
times
know.
can
It's like,
Erica say the word
yeah,
crunchy?
literally, we're all like, I don't know,
Everybody
granola.
take a shot for the amount of times that Erica
Yeah,
said crunchy.
turn it into
We're
a
all
game.
dead.
Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. Ha. That's it. That's what I'm looking forward to in the upcoming weeks. So yeah, now we can dive in. I'm
Yay.
so excited. So we're going to talk about feng shui today. So I'm going to give a brief overview. And Marissa and I just decided before this that I think it's going to be a two-parter. Maybe there'll be two smaller parts. Maybe there'll be two larger parts. One may never know. I have no clue.
We'll see where the
I
vibes are vibing and when
yeah.
we stop.
I guess I should probably have started recording my time, but I didn't. So I'll just check on our
That's
other
okay.
software. All right, we're at 8.5-ish minutes, so that's good to get started. So I'm going to give you guys the resources and I'm going to give you an overview. I'm going to be honest. I don't know where we're going to cut off today's episode and where we're going to pick back up next week, so I apologize. But in the feng shui topic as a whole, we're going to talk about what feng shui is. We're going to talk about different principles and definitions to understand what we're going through. And then we're going to get into incorporating good feng shui in your home. So you can actually use these tips to like incorporate feng shui if you would like to. We're going to talk about mirrors and feng shui because
I'm
that's a
literally
big
looking through
topic.
the words and there's
Yeah.
just so
There's so
much.
much. And then we're going to talk about feng shui in our home. So I don't know how it's going to be broken up, like I said, but I'm just going to dive in. First of all, I'm going to tell you guys my resources. So I use the National Geographic, the Feng Shui Academy, and then I use some different just like blogs or articles. So those would be from The Spruce, QC Design School, Laura Morris blog, Still JC blog, Pulse, Harmony and Motion Feng Shui blog, and Peace Love Feng Shui blog. So just a couple fun resources, but yeah, let's dive in. So, first things first, have you heard of feng shui before? Like, have you heard the
Yes.
term? I assumed because you looked like you had, but Angela had never, he did
I've
not know what I
heard
was
the
talking
word
about.
and I know that it's like the
Yeah.
flow of a room and I know
Yeah.
that there's certain things that are
Like
like do
rules.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
do not do this, but I
Exactly.
I don't know what the rules are. I don't know like
Yeah.
how it came about or what.
Same. I was in the same boat as you. So I barely knew anything, but I knew it enough to feel confident saying, like, ooh, that's bad feng shui. Like, even though I didn't
Yeah.
really know, Angelo had no clue. So I was like, wait, okay, so I have to bring this to the audience because some people may have never heard of this. So this is a little definition from National Geographic, but Feng Shui is an ancient Chinese art of arranging buildings, objects and space in an environment to achieve harmony and balance in a way that brings peace and prosperity to your life. So first of all, I love the vibes. I love how that
Mm.
sounds. Feng Shui translates to wind and water, or the way of the wind and the water, and it has roots in early Taoism, but it's still popular today. And it was originally practiced in China, but it's slowly being used more with more frequency in Western culture. So
Yeah,
that's
I
why,
feel like I've
some
heard
of
it
us
more and
have heard of it.
more.
Yeah, like recently or more newer years.
Yeah.
But yeah, feng shui, it's okay. So, like I said, it stems from the Taoist belief in qi. So, we're going to talk about qi a lot today, or the life force that it inhibits everything, is what qi is. So, qi is made up of yin and yang elements, which reminds me of our recent episode where we talked about our Chinese zodiac, which I still want to do an episode on that, but there's so much here. All is so intertwined. But yin and yang elements are opposing but complementary forces, and they cannot be separated. So Taoists believe that by balancing yin and yang elements, people can improve the flow of positive qi in their lives and keep negative qi away. So positive qi
Mm.
good, negative qi bad.
Hmm.
Feng Shui is a method of balancing the yin and the yang and improving flow of qi by arranging your furniture, your decor, even buildings and whole cities in a beneficial way. So I've never even
Wow.
got into that part. Today we're only talking about like in our homes because I think that's more practical for us. But I didn't even know you could do city planning based on Feng Shui.
That's
It's
really
kind of
cool. I
cool.
wonder, like, because it is such a big thing in like Chinese
Yeah,
culture, I wonder if
there's
like it
Chinese cities.
like big Chinese cities that
Yeah.
have like certain layouts.
I have no idea, but I'm super interested in that. Honestly, we could do another part two to follow up on that
Yeah.
because I think that would be cool. The ancient Chinese people believed that arranging things to create positive qi would ensure good health, improve interpersonal relationships, and then, like I said, bring luck and prosperity. That's the big theme. So,
Aw. I
that's
know
all
that you said
from,
that our
yeah,
two surprise topics couldn't be more different, but I disagree because these are both
yeah,
Eastern,
that's true.
like culture
But
based
yeah,
things.
I almost said vibes, like stop saying vibes. Yes, actually, that is a good point because yeah, Marissa was worried we picked the same topic, and I was like, no, I feel like this is so opposite. But you're right, there is a similar sense of like the ideation almost of it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so that was National Geographic's definition, but I also want to include this from an article from the Spruce, which I don't really know what that is, but I used it. As we're going to talk about it today in relation to your home, feng shui is the practice of arranging pieces in a living or workspace to create balance with the natural world. So the goal is to harness energy forces and establish harmony. And we're going to start with the principles of feng shui, which these are kind of just like definitions almost so that you guys know what I'm talking about. So,
Mm.
in feng shui design, there are four main principles to know. We're going to talk about them all. Qi, so it's spelled chi. It's also commonly spelled qi, and it's pronounced chi. So I did look up pronunciations of everything because I really wanted to get it right. So qi is a vital life force or energy. So we're going to be talking about good and bad qi. Now, in feng shui, there's something called the commanding position. So everyone visualize your room, or if you're in your room right now, your house, your whatever, you're going to find your commanding position this way. So the term refers to the spot in a room that's furthest from the door, but not directly across from the door. Okay, that's important. But the commanding position designates where you want to spend the most time in a space. So you want a clear line of sight to the door of the room from the commanding position to have the best feng shui possible. So, for example, in my house, my front door is kind of to my right, and the best commanding position would be in the far diagonal corner from it, which we're going to talk about this later. I'll tell you
Which
guys
is
just like
actually where
for
your
example,
couch is.
which is exactly where my couch is and my mirror. So that's an interest. Those are two interesting things in feng shui. I
That
have
is
a
really
mirror right in the
interesting.
corner, and then I have the couch next to it. And yeah, we're going to talk about mirrors in feng shui because I do think that's a
Did
big
you
common
did
one.
you know that when you put it
I
there?
had no idea. I didn't even know
Okay.
that till researched this episode yesterday. Like I had no clue.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I'm
I thought that
thinking
was
about it
cool.
now, and in my living room, the door is like I'm facing
Yeah,
towards the door. I'm just upstairs right now, but the couch is literally on the same wall as the
as the
door, so
door.
that's not
Yeah.
good feng shui.
So something interesting though is that having your couch on a wall is good feng shui. Just in general, like you don't want to have your
Uh-huh.
couch just out in the open. You know, some people's couch
Mhm.
just is in the middle of the room. They say put it against a wall or like aligned with the wall. So that part is good. But yeah, so think about your commanding position. And in each room of your house, it's different because each room has a door in a different place. So yeah, they say that opposite the door, where you can still have a clear view of the door, that's where you want to spend your time, but not directly in line, which we'll show some
Mhm.
images later to make more sense. So there's that.
Yeah.
Next principle is bagua. We're going to talk about this as well. This is Bagua. That's how you spell it. But bagua is the feng shui energy map. This is where it gets really fun. So we're going to
Hmm.
actually apply the map to some spaces. So this is a Chinese word that means 8 areas, and there are 8 areas that each align to a particular life area. So we'll get into
Okay.
that. Don't be too confused yet. And then the last principle that we'll discuss today is called 5 elements. So feng shui has 5 elements: earth, metal, wind, water, and fire. And when incorporating feng shui into your home, it's essential to balance those 5 elements. Like that's part of the goal. So we'll talk about each of those today and what it looks like to actually practically introduce those. Because of course you're not just going to have like a fire in the middle of your living room like a campsite, right? There's different ways that you can incorporate the fire element without actually using fire. So
Hmm.
all of that. So we'll start with chi. That's the first principle we're going to talk about. And this is a very short section because it really is. There's not much to
Just
say.
about energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chi, like I said, it refers to the vital life force or energy. So a large room with a little amount of furniture, like no furniture in a really big room, that can overwhelm chi and it can make you feel lost. And then on the other hand, if you have a really small room, but it's packed with like clutter and so much shit everywhere, that doesn't give chi space to move, resulting in feelings of stagnation within you. So you want to
Hmm.
find a balance within that. And that's kind of what we're going to talk about today with chi. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to try not to talk so fast today, you guys.
I know. I feel like
Um,
it's so hard because we're both like really quick
we
talkers.
are, and it's exciting. Like I'm really excited about this for some reason. Like it's just fun. But we'll talk about the commanding position next. So that's the next principle in feng shui we're discussing today. So, like I said, commanding position, it's the spot in a room that's furthest from the door, but it's not in line with it. And it gives you a good room or a good view of both the door and the whole room, right? So your commanding position
Mm-hmm.
is not going to be in the middle of the room because you can't see everything. It's going to be kind of in a corner or on off to the side. So that's where you want to spend the most of your time in a room. And therefore, it should host the most prevalent piece of furniture. So in your bedroom, your bed, you're going to want it to be in the commanding position. And in your office, you're going to want your desk to be in the commanding position. In the kitchen, you might want your stove to be in the commanding position, which, by the way, mine is
Oh,
right in line with the doorway.
it
So,
is.
not good. Yeah,
But you can't really move that one.
exactly. Yeah. So, it's hard, but there are small caveats, which you guys will learn throughout to these rules. So, like with your bed, it should be in the commanding position, but there's also rules about windows. So, you have to, there's
Mm.
kind of like a maneuver. It's almost like a little science to it.
I feel like that would make sense, like without knowing the rest of the research and stuff that you
Yeah.
did with a bed and a window. I feel like you wouldn't necessarily want the bed by the window if you can avoid it,
Correct.
just because like chi is energy, energy is flowing, and you don't want your
Yes.
energy to go out the window.
You're literally 100% correct. That's exactly right. Is that they see windows as a chi drain. Same with like, which we'll get
Oh.
into it, but like the toilet, for example, is a drain of chi. So yeah, that's exactly right. So there is like a little science of following the rules, but also there's so many rules that it's kind of hard.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but these pieces of furniture, like the ones we were just talking about, being in commanding position, they must stand in the dominant position because each one represents an important part of your life. So, for
Mm.
example, in feng shui, the bed represents you, the desk represents your career, the
Mm.
stove represents wealth and nourishment. And so, it's important to keep those in the right place so that
Yeah.
the chi can flow. So, a common pitfall, I thought this was interesting, which I highlighted this in yellow because I meant to move it to a different part of the episode. Wait, let me just read this. Oh, wait, we just
Oops.
talked about it. This is so natural. I'll keep it here.
Oh.
A common pitfall. A common feng shui mistake is putting your bed under a window. I didn't even know. I was going to move it, but it makes sense. That lets too much energy flow out of the room, just like Marissa was
Mm.
saying. So, if you have to place your bed under a window, there are some solutions that can help contain the negative feng shui in the room, such as adding a solid headboard or a wall of curtains behind the bed. So, there's
Mm.
different, like, I don't know how to say it, but like different modifications, I guess you can do to keep that good feng shui.
Hmm. Does
So,
this make
okay.
you want to rearrange your whole house?
It makes me want to think about it, but it's also overwhelming, which in the end, we'll kind of talk about how you guys can implement this. And the way they suggest is never to just do it all at once. So they
Hmm.
suggest that if you're going to start, following feng shui practices, you kind of like choose an area or two and go from there.
Hmm.
So it does kind of it doesn't make me want to rearrange my whole house. It does make me want our next house to be like really planned out with feng shui
Yeah.
because
I
I'm
was
interested
thinking
in
about
it for
it
sure.
too, because like I said, your front door is in the opposite corner of your couch,
Yeah,
but you have your sliding doors too,
that's
like,
true. That's true.
and that's right by another door. So does that
Yeah.
like counteract it?
That's interesting. That okay, I'm gonna not comment on that right now, but I do have some interesting points I want to talk about later with that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think about that. Um, And now that I'm also talking, like we've been here for 20 minutes, maybe this will be one episode. I don't know. We'll just the
We'll
vibes.
see.
But yeah, so that's kind of commanding position. So I think everyone's kind of on the same page of what that means.
Hmm.
So you guys can determine your commanding position, or if you're having trouble, you can Google it and find some examples too. But we're gonna move into the next principle. This is a big one. This is bagua. This is very fun. I went. This is my
Hmm.
most excited part. This is the map.
Okay.
So, a bagua is the feng shui, I cannot speak, energy map that's superimposed onto the floor plan of your house. And the Chinese word bagua translates to mean 8 areas, like I told you. So
Mhm.
each area of this map relates to a different life circumstance. So there's like family, wealth, career, and they also have corresponding shapes, colors, seasons, numbers, and earthly elements, which we're going to go through every
Okay.
single one.
Okay.
And those are ways that you can incorporate it, right? So, like, wealth is purple. So, in that area of the room, you can incorporate purple in some way. It doesn't have to be
Mm.
as obvious as, like, okay, I'm going to put like a big purple, like, plant holder there,
I'm
but
not
you
gonna
can do
paint
it in
all the
small.
walls in this
Yeah,
room
exactly.
purple.
Like, you can find small ways to do it. At the center of the bagua is what they're saying is like a ninth area, and it represents you and your overall wellness and how the
Mm.
areas around you are working together.
That makes sense.
So yeah, there's several feng shui schools of thought, which by the way, we do not get into this, but it's really interesting, all of which use baguas, but they apply the bagua differently.
Oh, that
So
makes
there's a
sense.
Western and a B2B black sect school of thought. Those are two schools of thought. And they usually lay the bagua so the knowledge, career, and helpful people areas align with the front door. And then there's the
Mm.
flying stars, and then there's other classical schools of thoughts that orient the bagua based on the year's energy or the compass.
That
So
would be
really
so
interesting.
frustrating because
Yeah.
if my bagua rearranged based every year,
No,
I have to
you'd have to move
rearrange the
stuff.
feng shui of
Oh
my
my
house
gosh.
every year. That would make me
That would be
throw up.
crazy. Yeah, that's so true. I didn't think of that. The way we're going to talk about it today, you guys, and how you guys can try to use feng shui is we're going to, I don't think we're following a certain school of thought, or if we are, I don't know which one it is, but we're going to align it in a way that it stays that way the whole time you're in your house.
Okay.
So we'll get there. But yeah, so if you guys are watching the video, please look on the screen. This is like a general bagua map right here. So top left, it has wealth, and it has like a little, I guess I would call that purple, like a purplish kind of circle.
Yeah, like purple,
Purpley,
purple. Yeah.
dark purple. Yeah. In the top middle, we have fame, and that's red. In the top right, we have partnership, and that's like a little pink. Middle left, we have family, and that's green. Center is you, Tai Chi, but it's a yellow circle, and it's yourself. Far right is children, and that's light gray. Bottom left is knowledge, dark blue. Bottom center is career, and that's like a dark gray, very dark gray. And then the bottom right is helpful people, and that's a in between of dark and light gray. It's a medium gray.
Yeah. Do
So
you
this
think
is a
career is
general
meant
map.
to be black?
Maybe. Oh yeah, that probably is meant to be black. Yeah, there's probably a light gray, dark gray, and black. Probably. Which will, yeah, we'll go into each. But you can begin to begin incorporating the bagua into your life and feng shui. They say to identify 1 to 3 areas that you think need the most attention. So this is what I
Mm.
was talking about. So you could look
So
at
I
the
don't have
map.
to do all 8.
No, you don't have to go crazy. So it says do not, it actually recommends you don't. It says do not attempt to work on all areas at once because that can unsettle and easily overwhelm you, right? So to strengthen your energy or improve the flow, you're going to incorporate feng shui tips in that particular room or in that area of your room. So for
Hmm.
example, if I feel like wealth needs attention this year, I'm going to focus on wealth in all of my rooms.
Mm.
Or you could also say, I'm only going to focus on my living area because that's where I spend a lot of time, but I'm going to focus on wealth, family, and partnership this year.
Mm.
So you just kind of
Hmm.
like pick a few things that you think need help, I guess. We're going to skip ahead.
Okay.
We're going to come back to explain the Bagua map, but you at least know what it is, you guys. And now we're going to dive into what each element means before we describe it. So
Okay.
we are going to go ahead and skip down to the 5 elements of feng shui. This is like the final principle. And then we'll get
Okay.
into implementation. I think that makes
I
a
guess
little
that
more
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this information this that I'm starting with is from the Feng Shui Academy. And the 5 element theory is the core understanding of, they say, all Chinese metaphysical studies, which is interesting. So it's believed that all matter, as well as the sentient beings in our universe, are composed of the 5 elements. It does not mean, however, that the 5 elements are physical, but you guys will see.
Mm. That
So
makes sense.
yeah, the 5 elements are basically types of qi. So the interaction between the fundamental life forces, the yin and yang, creates 5 phases of qi. 5 phases, sorry, and each phase, the product of different proportions of yin and yang. So Each phase has different amounts of yin and yang. And I have to be so honest with you guys, I don't understand yin and yang still. I didn't understand it when we talked about the horoscopes. I don't understand it now. I think we could do a whole episode on yin and yang. It's very
Yeah.
confusing. But these 5 phases of transformational energy are known as the 5 elements, and they tie into everything. So I'm going to read them. These 5 phases of transformational energy are known as the 5 elements. So the first one is earth. The properties of earth, we're thinking attractive, dense, or stable. And so when you're thinking about these things, they're not saying that the earth is like a dense brown cubic shape. That is not what they're saying. But they're saying the way you incorporate earth into your space is with cubic shapes, flat shapes, or broad shapes. And the
Okay.
colors brown, beige, or yellow. So like say you incorporate your dining tables like a brown wood, that's giving earth. That's giving like the earth
Yeah.
element.
This
Um,
makes a lot more sense because when we were first talking about phases, I was like, oh, we could have like a plant, we could have
right.
like, or things like that, like a plant, like earth, metal, water. I'm thinking we have the plant, we have like the sink in the bathroom, and we have like a
Right.
metal vase or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it gives examples of each. So for earth, you're thinking mountain, rocks, bricks, or stone, right? So if you have a brick
Yeah.
wall in your house, that's like incorporating the earth element.
Mm-hmm.
Metal, its properties are sharp, pointing, or piercing. But on the contrary, its shapes are spherical
Oh,
and rounded, which I found to be a little confusing at first.
yeah.
And the colors are white, gold, and silver. But the way that this could be incorporated for metal is like a sword, an axe. Like you can hang a
Oh,
sword on the wall. I've seen that. But
yeah.
jewelry, and then just real gold, iron, silver, or copper. So,
Yeah.
like if you think of a frame that has like a gold, whoops, like maybe you have a picture frame and it's like a gold. Actually, I have some behind me. That's a wait.
Yeah,
There's a
like
mirror.
those.
Wait, I forgot. So, anyways, that's a way you can incorporate metal into the space.
Okay.
Okay. Next one is water. So the properties of water is runs downhill and it's free or unbound. So the
Okay.
shapes that would incorporate water would be something
Mm.
wavy or something indefinite. And the
Mm-hmm.
colors associated though are black and dark blue, which I think is cool.
Mm-hmm.
So water, we're thinking like ponds, swimming pools, things like that, but also like a fountain, lakes, seas, aquariums. So that one's a little more straightforward. It's like actually
Add
water.
water.
But yeah, when it says wavy too, you can think of like those mirrors that are
That
popular
have
now
the
that have
wavy
yeah, like the
edges.
wavy edge. So I
That's
think that would
exactly what I thought
also
of immediately.
same. Yeah, I think that would also incorporate it too. Next one is wood. So wood's properties are that it grows outward and it's enduring. And shapes that incorporate wood are tall and rectangular, and the color is green, which I thought was funny.
Mm-hmm.
So for wood, we're talking plants, shrubs, trees, flower, grass, bamboo, and fern. So not to be confused with earth, because it is confusing, but
Mm-hmm.
plants would incorporate wood element.
Yeah.
And then finally, we have fire. So fire's properties are that it spreads in every direction and it radiates hot.
Mm-hmm.
So the shapes associated would be triangular, pointed, and sharp. And colors are like red, orange, purple, pink, like those brighter colors that you're thinking
Fiery
of. Yeah.
colors.
And so fire would be like candles. Of course, it's like an obvious one, or like a red light, red lamps,
Ah, my
lightning.
new my new
Yeah, your hatch, your
yeah,
off-brand
my
hatch, whatever.
Philips.
Yeah, your Philips alarm,
My
exactly.
new alarm clock.
Lightning, electricity, things like that. So that's an overarching just what are the 5 elements, what do they
Yeah.
mean. I'm also going to include on the pic or on the screen here, there's another photo from the spruce. I really liked how the spruces did their images because I feel like it's super helpful. So you
Yeah.
can see the 5 elements, and here they kind of attach them, which like I said we're going to do. But wood kind of goes with family or wealth, fire goes with fame, earth goes with health, knowledge, and partnership. Water goes with career, and then metal goes with helpful people and children. So they kind of associate back to the bagua map that I was telling you guys about
Yeah.
earlier. So it's all very incorporated, which makes it hard to talk about, but
Yeah, it makes it hard to like say which one to do
yeah,
first.
it really does. So we're gonna apply the bagua map. You guys have seen it. You've seen the 9 colors on there.
Mm-hmm.
How do you actually apply this to your house? Because I think this is a fun part and it's going to help tie it all together. So you're going to want to take your floor plan of your house. So if you can find it online, like your apartment complex, or if you own your house, you can look up your county auditor website and search for yourself. And usually they have an actual official floor plan and you can
That's
print
funny.
that
I didn't
out.
know that.
Yeah. So that's only if you really own and if your county has an auditor site, which they should. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to. So yeah, look that up. And if you can't, then you can just like draw it on a notebook paper, try to do it as to scale as you can because it matters for the map. But get your floor plan. And I will encourage you guys to use Canva because that's just easy. So you can just plop it into Canva and open a new page and start there. Just put your floor plan on Canva. I think you're going to want something that's not all hand drawn because it's going to get hard when you start to put the bagua map on it. So you have your main floor plan, you put it on Canva or whatever, you have it all ready to go. Then you're going to take the bagua map, which you guys saw, and I'll put another one on the screen here that's a little bit better, I guess,
Mhm.
more evenly split into nine, not quarters, but whatever, ninths. It's in a grid format and all the sizes are equal to each other, like all the sections are equal to each other. And what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to make sure that your front door of your home, like the entry point of your home, is at the bottom. Okay. That's the key, is that your front door, it's the key focal point, and you need to align it to the bottom of your page and the bottom of the Bagua map. So they should be on
Mm.
the same axis. So I have an example on screen here so that you guys can see it. And this shows the Bagua map on the left with like wealth, fame, marriage, whatever. And then they went ahead and placed it over on the right side because their front door, which is kind of hard to see, is off the garage. I think. I think that's where their front door is. Or maybe it's on the left between the living and den. I actually don't know where their front door is, but it's on the
I
bottom.
think it's the
Like, which one
section
is it?
between bedroom two and then like the like so there's bedroom two there and then
Yeah,
the yellow block. I think it's that door
that
that's
little
on
door.
like
That's what I
that.
wondered. Yeah, I wondered if it was that or if between the living room and the bedroom three, there's like that little section. I don't know.
Mm.
Either way, I have many examples, so you can scroll down and there's another example of a Bagua map. This one shows it as a little bit of a different shape. So, in the different schools of thought that I was talking about earlier, the Bagua maps are kind of laid out differently, but they're
Mm.
essentially all the same. You can see how it translates. So yeah, you can apply that to your whole house, or the next photo I have to share with you guys, it shows a bedroom. And so you align your bedroom door with the bottom, and then you put the Bagua map over top, and you just size the Bagua map accordingly, like you stretch it down or stretch it up so that it fills the whole room. And so, all that to say, look at this one on the screen now, you guys, showing the bedroom one specifically. You can see health is top, or sorry, wealth is top left, and it says wood. Fame is in the middle, it says fire. Love and marriage is in top right, it says earth. So, in those sections of the room is where you should be incorporating these five elements.
Mm.
So, does that make sense? I feel
Yes.
like we needed that before we get into the actual elements.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you guys see how to apply the Bagua map. We're going to try to explain the elements to you all.
Mhm.
So for family, we have new beginnings. It's kind of the representation of family. So it can represent your physical family or new beginnings. That's what I'm trying to say. So shapes you could incorporate here is columns. I'm not going to even try to pronounce it again. And rectangles. Colors would be green, blue, and teal. And the season would be spring. Number, still don't know, but four. The element is yang and then wood, which we just talked
Mhm.
about. So starting in the top left of the Bagua map, okay, we have number one. This is the career section, which actually now that I'm looking at it, that's not what the numbers mean. What are the numbers?
I have
I'm
no
so
idea.
confused. All right, guys, just ignore the numbers. But we talked
We're
about
just not gonna
family.
say the numbers
No, I'm
anymore.
not going to say anything. We talked about family, so you guys already know what that is. So next we'll move into wealth. So that is the top left of the Bagua map. And wealth represents wealth, but also abundance and prosperity. Again, with the columns or rectangular shapes, but this time the color that you're looking for is purple, like we said. And the season associated is also spring. And then the element is also wood, but yin instead of yang. Don't ask me what it means. Don't know. Um, Now we have health. Okay, so health is going to be where on the map? That's a really good
I
question.
think it's the
The
middle.
center, yes, that's right. I was like, it's not written explicitly.
Mm.
Yeah, health is in the middle, so this is kind of like you. So it represents overall wellness and it represents the center. So shapes here, we're talking flat, square, brown, orange, yellow, almost like maybe a more neutral kind of idea. And the season associated is actually the transition between seasons, which I thought was
Oh, that's
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah, and the element there is earth. And they call it tai chi or health. They're calling it both.
Yeah.
Um it probably is just a translation to be honest, but I don't know. Next section is called helpful people, which I think is a funny name, but this is the bottom right section of the Bagua map and it represents yes, helpful people, but also benefactors and travel. So I thought that was
Hmm.
interesting. That's where travel would fall into this. Shapes to
I think it's
incorporate there.
interesting that that is there because in the whole home example map,
Oh yeah,
that was over the
garage.
garage.
So weird. Wait, that actually is super interesting. I really want to do this with my house. I didn't yet, and
Hmm.
I'm really curious to see like what I already have in place and what needs fixed. But that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So the shapes, yeah, circular and spherical, and you're gonna want gray and metallics. So that's kind of funny. That aligns with like car vibes. That's really weird. And the season for helpful people is autumn, and the element there is yang and metal, like I said. So
That makes sense.
helpful people.
Cars.
Yes. So next
Hmm.
one is called children. That is the middle right, far right of the map. And it represents children, but also like completion and joy.
Mm.
And so the shapes there, we're talking circular and spherical again. Colors are going to be white or metallics. It's also an autumn. And then its element is yin metal. Next, knowledge. Knowledge is bottom left of the map, and this represents knowledge, self cultivation, and skillfulness.
Hmm.
Shapes here are flat but square. Dark blue is the color. And again, this is a transitional one, transition between the seasons.
I
And its
guess that makes sense
element,
because it says like cultivation and
yeah,
skillfulness. Like that makes me think of a transition.
true, like a transitional period in life
Hmm.
generally. Yeah, that's cool. And then the element is yang earth. So, yeah, fame's the one I find interesting because fame's kind of hard to relate to for those of us who are not traditionally famous. Like
Not famous.
yeah, the way of the word is probably not exactly how it means in this context, but they say it represents fame, but also just like your reputation and then passion and visibility. So that does
Mm.
like make it make
That
sense
makes
to me
sense.
because when I first hear fame, I'm like, what? I don't
What?
need fame. Yeah. But yeah, your reputation just in general and then passion, visibility. I just think, I don't know, that makes sense. And the way you're going to incorporate that is with shapes of triangles or pointy shapes, which is kind of funny.
Mm.
And the color is red. And then, of course, season is summer and element is fire, which lines right up.
Yeah.
Career section. Career is going to be the bottom middle section. And this represents career or just like your path in life. And shapes here are wavy and curvy, which I actually think is kind of like, I wouldn't have expected that.
Yeah.
Colors associated is black and the season is winter. And the element is water,
I
just
think
straight
it's
up.
really interesting. Like you said, you wouldn't think of wavy or curvy for career,
Yeah,
but the first time I read that, like in the notes, I was like, wait, I feel like that does make sense because career paths aren't just like necessarily linear and
right.
they kind of go all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I actually like that relation. That's cool. I did not even think of that at all. Just was thinking like, I don't know, like a square, like boring, clear
Yeah.
cut. Yeah, but that makes sense. The final one that we're gonna talk about here is relationships. So in the map that I first showed, it's called partnership, but it's in the top right corner. And this is partnerships, marriage, self-care, could mean a number of different things, but just generally relationships. The shape is flat square. Colors would be pink, and this is a transitional one between seasons. And the element is yin earth. So I thought it was interesting that there's yin and yang of all the elements except
Water.
fire and water.
Oh,
Specifically, those ones didn't. Well, maybe there was one that had earth that didn't say yin or yang. So maybe there is yin and yang of all of them, but it wasn't applicable here, or maybe there's not. I really don't know.
yeah. That
Um,
is cool though.
yeah, so that's your overview of the Bagua map and kind of like what colors or elements you should incorporate into each section once you do your map and you lay the Bagua map over your living map. So that's a mouthful. I'm going to now put on the screen again this Bagua map because one on the left, it's shaped differently. It's shaped more like I don't know if that's an octagon. I guess it is an octagon because there's eight in the center one. And then on the right, it has these squares that we're used to looking at this point. But I really like this one in particular because it says southeast, wealth and prosperity, like softwood,
Mm.
purple, rectangle, four. I don't know what the number is, but maybe the number's like how many of the thing, like you were saying. I don't know. But I like
Yeah.
the way that this is laid out, and I'm gonna put it on screen again just to tie it all together for you guys because I feel like it's just like word vomit, word salad. I've said a lot of shit that doesn't go together, but looking at it in this layout helps and can help you understand like what you're supposed to incorporate into each section.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel like it looks like it gives you like a overview of everything that we've talked about so far. So like all the
yeah,
five properties that you said, is that what it's called?
yeah, five
The
elements.
the five elements of feng shui. So like it puts
Yes,
everything together in like one photo.
yeah,
And even with what you were saying, like putting it in Canva, you could even take the one like the if it's on the screen right now, the one that's on this side,
Yeah.
the like boxy one, not the circular or
Right.
octagonal one.
Yeah.
And you can like see sort of like, okay, I'm sitting in a room. Most rooms
Yeah.
are rectangular or square, and I can see where it
Yeah.
goes.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's exactly what Marissa was saying is exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. Take a shot for that too. But yeah, it ties it all together is the key here that I have a hard time doing verbally. And that's why you have to be watching today, and not in your car and not driving. But yeah, it really ties it all together in a way that you can understand because it is a lot of elements going on at once.
Yeah.
Um, that's the background of Feng Shui. I think we're going to stop and go into
I
the
feel like
next
this is a
episode.
good stopping point
Yeah.
because like this gives you all the things to know about feng shui, and then next
Right.
week we can dive into like actually
Like putting it in
how to
practice.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Yes,
like it'd be
that's
too much
exactly
to
it.
digest altogether.
And this was honestly dense. Like I know we're
Yeah.
only at 40 minutes, but this was dense. It was even hard for me to like illustrate it correctly verbally.
Uh-huh.
It's so hard. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode here, and then you have to tune in. Stay tuned for next week. I love leaving you guys on a cliffhanger. But next week, I'm gonna give you a little preview though. What we're gonna talk about is incorporating good feng shui into your home. Mirrors and feng shui we're going to dive into because I feel like that's the most common thing I think of when I think of feng shui.
hmm
I think of, oh yeah, there's a rule with mirrors, but I don't know what it is.
I
So we're
know
going to
like
talk
a
about that.
paranormal rule with mirrors, so
Ooh,
I'm
wait, that'll
curious
be
to
fun
see.
if it aligns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about like the different shapes of mirrors and what they mean, and do's and don'ts for placing mirrors in your home. And then that's pretty much it. And then Marissa and I will like kind of talk about our own houses and if we've noticed any like feng shui as we've been talking about it. So
Yeah.
that'll be next
Okay.
week.
I'm so excited
So
to do
yeah,
it.
thank you guys for listening to this. Thanks for getting the background on feng shui. We will see you in the next episode to go even deeper into the topic. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow us on Instagram at We Run on Coffee to stay up to date with all the new things, all of our posts. We're posting multiple times a week. Every time we have an episode, we're posting videos, we're posting reels, we're posting TikToks, we're posting everything. So follow us everywhere. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
And with that, I'm Erica.
And I'm Marissa,
And
and
we
we
run
run
on
on
coffee.
coffee.